Hello and a warm welcome back to the channel of nonsense. Now, as I've grown older, I have realised that this life is full of some really incredible moments that very few people bother experiencing, like washing your armpits before getting on the London Underground, or dipping chips in mashed potato, dipping pork pies in salad cream, learning how to merge and turn properly, and the Genesis G80. It's a luxury saloon from Genesis, which is Hyundai's luxury arm, essentially. And it's been updated, but no one really bought the first version of this, despite being a very good car. But for this generation, they've made it fancier, bigger, and my question is this better than a Mercedes S-Class? Because I think it might be. Let's find out why I haven't completely lost my brain today. Just a bit. Now, if you're sitting on your sofa or the toilet watching this YouTube video, you're probably not the target audience for this car. However, if you're a chauffeur, a professional driver, keep watching, because this is a proper rival for the Germans, and it is very luxurious, and so is the price. £76,000, although you might want to add a couple of extra grand to that for some option packs, which this one's got, to totally max it out and make it a real rival for something like an S-Class, which is bananas because they're crazy money now. Now for that you get an 8-year warranty and 5 years servicing included, all this kind of stuff, and the usual Genesis brand experience where they come and take the car away from you for servicing and give you a Genesis courtesy car and all that good stuff. But anyway, let's find out if it's actually any good. Okay, let's talk about looks. This facelift is subtle if you put them side by side, but you've got this chrome stuff down the bottom and a slightly more angular design at the bottom of the grille there. You've now got an electrically opening heated charging flap, and hidden under here are more active flaps than a holiday to Benidorm to improve aerodynamic efficiency. But let's go around the side because I want to talk about batteries and motors, because that stuff has slightly changed. Right, you ready for a load of numbers? The battery is bigger. It's now 94.5 kilowatt hours gross, not net. That's 7 kilowatt hours bigger than on the pre-facelift. Range is therefore up 30 miles to 354. It will fast charge at 187 kilowatts, so it takes about half an hour to get from 10% to 80%. It comes with a heat pump and a battery charger. Battery charger? You'd hope so. A battery heater as standard. Still 370 horsepower, 700 newton meters of torque. It's dual motor, so 0 to 62 is 5.1 seconds. So it's rapid, but it is designed to be a chauffeur car. There's even a new chauffeur driving mode, which we'll talk about in the driving bit. So that's the electric stuff done with. Let's talk about the sheer size of it. It's a monster. It's 5.1 meters long. The wheelbase has grown 13 centimeters over the pre-facelift car because people complained that on the pre-facelift there wasn't enough rear seat space. So all of that 13 centimeters has gone in here, and that means you can stretch out more in the back. It weighs 2.4 tons. You can get it with rear wheel steering now to cope with the extra length. That's 1,100 quid as an option, but it is worth having. That turns the rear wheels up to 3.5 degrees in the opposite direction to the front wheels to tighten the turning circle by about a meter over the non-rear wheel steer version. The wheels are 19s. They look amazing. They just remind me of old school AMGs. They look really quite cool. There are 14 colors. It's mostly silvers, whites, blacks, blues. There's a new silver as well, and there's some matte and some pearl options. And there's a new C-pillar detail here. Well, there's 2 lines on the C-pillar. And this one has got power closing doors as well, which feel a bit, yeah, they'll do all of that for you and then soft close. But let's talk about the rest of it, because this bit has gone on what we call in YouTube land too bloody long. Bit like a car. No, it's perfect length. One other thing, you can paint the brake calipers white for £340, which I don't think is the most practical colour for a brake caliper, given there's going to be brake dust. And also, for these wheels, you can't see them. They're slightly more visible at the back, and they've got Genesis written on them there. I don't think that's worth £340. Right, I'm about to show you the interior of the facelifted G80. I'm going to drop my Ray-Bans on the floor for the millionth time. There is a problem with this car. The interior is beautiful, but I'm not allowed it because I'm 6'3". I'm going to get in. I'm going to pretty much hit my head on that. And this seat is as low as it will go, and I hit my head on this. I've literally, well, I've got no headroom. I rub my head on the door handle there, and my eye line is at the bottom of the sun visor, so I have to duck down to see out of the car, which is a little bit of a flaw. It's otherwise, it's given me feelings in parts I haven't had feelings in for a while. I'm going to show you this because it is amazing. Even smells nice. Yeah, it is super lovely. I always say this about Genesis models. They come as close as anyone to Bentley in the feel-good factor and material quality, which is ridiculous considering this costs half the price of a Bentley. Now, big news for this facelift is you've got a new 3-spoke steering wheel. You've got this big 27-inch OLED screen that hasn't got a gap in the middle. We saw that on the GV70 I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. You've got some touch control, climate controls there, but hey, at least they're not actually in the touchscreen. And if you put this side by side with the G80 that came out back in 2022, it makes it look like your racist American uncle's Cadillac. This looks way more modern and less American, which I think we can probably all agree is a good thing. There's new ambient lighting as well. There's 4 interior colors. There's camel. There's this white, which is a brave choice because I think my jeans will probably stain these seats in about 5 minutes. And also, white carpets make me want to take my shoes off when I'm getting in. I haven't, but it is that vibe. It does feel really lovely. You can get Netflix and Disney Plus on this screen here. It's got wireless CarPlay. You've got the new Genesis digital key too, so you can put keys on your phone and things like that. It is just really, really nice. You've got loads of stuff as standard, so heated wheel, heated seats, and this has got a Napa leather pack, which is a couple of grand for these fancy seats, which also gives you suede headlining as well, and massage seats. You've got a Bang & Olufsen sound system with, I can't remember how many speakers it is actually, it's a lot, 17, with Dolby Atmos. So if you are watching Disney Plus stuff that's encoded with Dolby Atmos, it will presumably sound absolutely amazing. And it's got a nice lot of physical buttons on the steering wheel. You can hold the mute button to turn off any speed limit warning bongs. It's got a wireless charger down there. And in here, you've got black darkness. There you go. You've got USB-C and stuff like that, and it's also got a UVC sterilizing thing in there. So you press this button, close the lid, give it a couple of minutes, and it will get rid of all the germs from your foreskin. Now back to that 17-speaker B&O sound system. That's got a clever trick. It's got active noise cancellation, like on your Bose headphones or whatever. So when you're going along, it cancels out road noise. Very smart. It is very quiet and hushed when we're driving, which we're going to do in a second. Oh yeah, and those little trim pieces along the dashboard, there's 5 different choices of material for those. And that is part of the reason why this car is built to order, unlike other Genesis models. So there's about a 5-month lead time. Once you order one of these, it's built to your spec in the factory in Korea. I presume it's Korea. I should probably have checked that. Hey! Ow! Hit my head getting in. Yes, back seat space in the G80. Yeah, the 13 centimeters has done a lot. I've got loads of room there. My feet don't actually fit under the seat in front though, because the floor is high. And if I lean back, my head touches the roof as well. So if your passengers are over 6'3", they're just gonna have to slouch a little bit. But slouching in this is fine. It is super comfortable. There's a nice recline on the seats. And like up front, the leather and everything feels amazing. Now, this car has got 2,640 pounds of the second row comfort pack. So I've got power opening, closing doors. I've got a central control panel for my heated rear seats and window blinds. They're part of the comfort pack. They totally tuck away as well, so you wouldn't know they're there. So you can, yeah, I can, there you go, put them up. Lovely, jubbly. The door bins are okay. I've got a central control panel. There's no hump in the floor to speak of. Not that this one has a middle rear seat really. Oh no, it does, but you're going to want to have this down. Yeah, loads of storage space. Got a couple of USB-Cs in the center armrest, and the comfort pack adds this vanity mirror here so you can check yourself out while doing TikToks. It is absolutely lovely, but again, I don't quite fit, which is ludicrous. They've given it more knee room, but not more headroom. Bye. Because for the facelift they've made this car longer, all of this stuff from the B-pillar backwards is new for the facelift, apart from the boot lid. How did they keep the boot lid the same, you ask? Well, it's because the boot space has not changed, and it's rubbish. 354 litres. Perhaps the car's biggest weak point is that this is smaller than the space you get in a Volkswagen Golf. Yes, there's some storage under the floor for cables and things like that, and there's a little net there. But yeah, it's awkwardly shaped at the back because it has to cope for those rear seats which recline really far. And then there's a big box of cables in here. as well. But I guess if you're a proper chauffeur, you might not always be taking that much stuff in the boot. You might just be picking up businessmen with laptops who are about to order another 1,000 landmines to Africa on their lunch breaks. But yeah, it's electric opening, at least. In terms of the design at the back end, this has given me strong first-gen Audi A7. I don't know about you. I quite like it. It looks a bit different to everything else. Right, so far you've come with me on this journey of exploration into the G80 Electrified facelift, and we found out that I don't really fit in it. But how is it to drive and to chauffeur people around? Let's find out. Right, how does this Genesis G80 drive? Well, once I've got over the fact that being 6'3", I'm 2 inches too tall for it, it's absolutely sublime to drive. Apart from, I can't see out the back because I've got the sun blind up and this beeper is right in my face. There we go. Right, this car has been improved from a comfort point of view. As part of the facelift, they have tweaked the rear suspension to let in less noise. The battery mounting has been tweaked to give less noise, and it has all the standard Genesis stuff that it had before, such as that active noise cancellation, and also it uses cameras up here to look out for potholes and speed bumps to adjust the frequency of the dampers and the rebound so it's just more comfortable. Now, chauffeur driving mode, you access by pressing the drive mode button and holding it, and that softens off the accelerator and lengthens the brake travel. It is wonderful. I really like it that you just come to a stop ever so gently, and there's no little jolt at the end. It just comes to a perfect chauffeur stop. Now, in that mode, I have noticed you can't use the brake recuperation pedals because I guess it would make it decelerate too abruptly for the chauffeur vibe. And it also tweaks the suspension when you put it in that mode to really focus all the comfortness, this is getting technical, on your rear seat passengers. So I guess it might compromise the comfort up front and the stability of the car up front, but makes the back seat passengers fall asleep, which is very, very nice. Now I'm going to take it out of that mode and just put it in sport for a second, because that's when you get your whip crack acceleration. That's where you're going to get your 5.1 seconds to 60, and then it will bong at you, even though I thought I'd turned that off. It's now off. And then it does stiffen up. And it's actually quite pleasant to drive quite quickly, even on a country road. And you notice that rear wheel steer all the time when you're driving this around roundabouts. The first couple of junctions I did around town, it feels really nimble. You can feel the back of the car kind of almost pivoting. It's a really nice, satisfying feeling for something that would otherwise be an absolute leviathan to drive down a country road. It doesn't feel too wide. The view out is actually really good once you've got the sun blinds over your shoulder down because you forgot to do it. It's hushed, it's refined, it's more than fast enough when you want it to be, but I think most of these will be driven in either chauffeur mode or comfort mode and just basically bimble around it. Now, I've easily been getting 3 miles per kilowatt out of this. Admittedly, I've only got it for a few hours, so I've mostly been hooning it. But I can imagine this will get a real world 320 miles to a charge. That's what it was like when I picked it up on 100% battery this morning. So yeah, that's not too bad really, 320 miles. A BMW i7 will technically do 370, and an EQS with a massive battery I think can get past 400. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, it's a proper old school waftmobile, and I think I've reached the age now where I do appreciate a wafty saloon. Like one of my dream cars, is quite sad, is to get an S-Class and use it as a family car, maybe a S63 or something. And this has S63 performance, but without the noise. Now, if you can hear any noise as I go down here, I can guarantee you that's fan noise, because this is one of the quietest cars I've ever tested. It's like being in a coffin, like a really nice kind of wood-lined coffin. Not lead-lined like the old Queens to stop them coming back to life as zombies, but it is super refined in here. It would be such an epically comfortable car, and at motorway speeds you get barely any noise. It's lovely. It's like driving in a triple layer condom. I really want to do it. Hang on, I am doing it. Another thing to point out, that if you hold the right hand paddle, it puts you in auto brake regeneration. So you basically never have to use the brake pedal, because it's always looking at junctions and other traffic, and if it knows you're about to turn left based on the sat nav, it will start slowing you down the right amount to make the turn. It's very clever. I like that sort of thing, because after a while you just realise, hang on, I've not moved my right foot to the brake pedal for ages. You still need it for roundabouts and things like that, I should hasten to add. Yeah, round this roundabout. Whee! Whoa, what are you doing? You naturally also get a whole host of safety technology. It can change lanes for you when you're using cruise control on the motorway. Hit an indicator and it will move over for you. And it can also give you blind spot views back, like Genesis have always done. So when you indicate, you get a little view on the left or right of the screen down here, looking backwards to make sure you don't accidentally crash into anyone. It's got it all, and it's quite nice actually when you're in map mode on the big screen in the middle. That map stretches all the way across. You get a proper ultra-wide map view. That is neat. Right, we're coming to the end of the driving bit, but there's a Mercedes lady next to me who can't keep to her lane on a roundabout, and I'm at traffic lights next to her. I think I'm going to put it in sport mode and launch it, just because no one's going to do this in their G80, and I'm going to do it. This is science, people. Ooh, the back end stepped out a tiny little bit. That's fast, in a kind of gentlemanly way. But anyway, it's very quiet and comfortable to drive once you've got in it. And yeah, an i7 is probably a bit sharper in the handling department, but when you're chauffeuring people around, I don't think that really matters. Back to me for a conclusion. I'm going to park up in my local vineyard. Sorry, my vineyard, the vineyard I own, yeah. I'll just pretend I own this one. Ooh, that speed bump disappeared. Sorry, this is my speed bump testing zone. Definitely not my wheelie practice zone when I'm on a motorbike. Oh, I'm going to hit this a bit faster than I should. Oh, that's really good. I think the camera thing works. It reduces speed bumps to mere smears of earwigs in the road. Right, should you buy a facelifted Genesis Electrified G80? Yes, but you're probably not going to, because actually as a family car it doesn't really work. The boot is too small and it's just too posh, frankly. Now, it's really nice to drive. It's super refined like refried beans, super luxurious, and I think it looks just brilliant because it's so different to its German rivals. I don't fit in it though. I find that slightly unforgivable. That as a 6'3" driver, I hit my head while I'm driving it, and also no headroom in the back, despite the fact I have loads of legroom now. The technology is amazing. The interior, go and buy a Genesis if you like lovely interiors. Just go and do it, because they are at the top of their game in that kind of premium market. It's not super high end like a Bentley, and it's higher end than, well, a Skoda. It is a great thing, but £76,000. That's actually a good thing, £76,000, believe it or not. Because if you want the equivalent German Mercedes EQS, £100,000. If you want the equivalent BMW i7, £100,000. This is 25 grand less than its German equivalents and does sort of the same job. It's as refined as those near or nearabouts. The i7 is crazy kind of hoodoo levels of refinement, which this can't quite match, but it's near enough there. But anyway, it is a niche car. I don't expect to ever see one again. It's a wonderful unicorn. If you ever get the chance to go in the back one, do it, because it's super special. And I'll see you next time. If you've liked this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, because I've got loads of car reviews coming soon. Go down to the comments and leave me the Korean word for, I used to have hair, but I rubbed it off on the roof. It's not true, but it's funny. Let's go. Bye.